Oman are finalizing new route for ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's foreign ministry said the two countries have agreed to establish designated shipping route through the strategic waterway. Now, the route's geographical coordinates are now being finalized by both sides. They're also working on the final arrangements to jointly manage and oversee vessel movement through the strait. Previously, a framework for separate shipping corridors had been reported. Now, the Iran and Muscat have agreed to the actual route, but the details of the proposed deal are already raising concerns. Reports suggest that the agreement could give Iran control over ships entering the Persian Gulf through the Strait of Hormuz. The move would mark one of the biggest concessions offered to Tehran so far. Sources who are familiar with the talks say the proposal would allow Iran to oversee incoming vessels passing through the strategic waterway. But now the big question is, will the United States agree to this new arrangement? Well, Washington has not immediately responded to the reports about the proposed deal. U.S. officials have repeatedly said they would not accept any arrangement that allows Iran to control the Strait of Hormuz. Still, Trump says negotiations are moving forward. In fact, speaking to Fox News, he said that talks are moving along nicely and revealed that officials held an all-day negotiation on Tuesday.
We hit them very, very hard, but the hard hit is yet to come, and hopefully we won't have to use it. I hope we won't have to. We're having very good discussions. They don't like to admit that, but it's a little bit disconcerting. You tell people like you, we're having wonderful discussions, and then some guy will come out of Iran and say, we have not met, we have not. It's just such a lie all day long. You understand. It's just incredible.
The Strait of Hormuz remains the biggest pressure point in the crisis. The narrow waterway is a vital route for global oil and gas supplies. Any disruption there can quickly affect energy markets around the world. For now, shipping traffic through the strait remains badly affected. Reports say only 22 vessels crossed the waterway on August 3rd, half of them reportedly operating without tracking signals, adding to concerns over safety and transparency. For the first time ever, Japan has carried out a live fire test of a US-made Tomahawk cruise missile, marking a major turning point in its defense strategy, and the move has sent a strong message across the region and triggered concern among its neighbors. Kim Yo-jong, the powerful sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, has issued a military threat to Tokyo. The missile was launched from the Kongo-class Aegis destroyer JS Tokai during a live-fire exercise in the Pacific Ocean. Images released by Japan's military show the Tomahawk roaring out of the warship. The US-made missile can strike targets nearly 1,000 miles away with high precision, giving Tokyo a powerful new long-range capability. The test comes as Japan is rapidly changing the way that it approaches defense. For decades, the country maintained a pacifist identity shaped by the aftermath of World War II. But growing tensions with North Korea and China's expanding military power have pushed Tokyo to rethink its security strategy. Now, Japan's strategic location, which is wedged between China, Russia and North Korea, it has long made it a linchpin of US security architecture in the Indo-Pacific. The country hosts approximately 120 active US military facilities and installations. Now that makes it the largest host of American bases and personnel in the world. Since the US-Japan Security Treaty of 1960, Washington has provided Tokyo with advanced military technology, including F-35 fighter jets and Aegis destroyers. The Tomahawk missile test has now added another layer to that partnership. But it has also triggered a sharp response from Japan's rivals. North Korea was among the first to react. Kim Yo-jong criticized the launch in a statement carried by state media, where she warned that Pyongyang would make new military choices in response to what it described as Japan's growing military threat. She also pointed that Tokyo is moving towards a more aggressive military posture. China, a close ally of North Korea, has also raised concerns. Beijing has accused Japan of reviving what it calls new militarism and warned that its expanding military capabilities, they could disturb the regional balance. Listen to this.
Japan's recent series of dangerous actions in the space of military security has exposed the self-praise of its claim of being a peaceful nation with exclusive defense. Many experts and scholars are worried Japan is restarting its war machine and exporting conflict. Japan's quickening remilitarization is a current reality with a concrete path and actions. The international community, including China, will remain highly vigilant on this and firmly resist Japan's reckless new-style militarization.
On the other hand, Japan insists that its military modernization is defensive and it's driven by the changing security situation around it. But the successful Tomahawk test shows that Tokyo is entering a new era in its defense policy. And Taiwan has kicked off its biggest military exercise of the year. The annual Hankwang drills are being held from August 5th to 14th. And during this period, troops and reservists taking part in simulated combat scenarios designed to prepare for a potential attack on the island. The exercise comes as tensions in the Pacific continue to simmer, and China ramps up military pressure on Taiwan. Take a look at these images.
The White House has sent to Congress a priority bill that would allow the U.S. Navy to build ships at foreign shipyards, potentially paving the way for expanded shipbuilding cooperation with South Korea. Cha Yun-kyung has this report.
The White House submitted a proposal to Congress in July requesting authority for the U.S. Navy to build 2 surface combatants and 2 non-combat auxiliary vessels in foreign shipyards. In a statement of administration policy sent to the House of Representatives on July 21st, the Office of Management and Budget highlighted the initiative, urging lawmakers to oppose restrictions in the fiscal 2027 National Defense Authorization Act that would block foreign warship construction. The White House expects that constructing U.S. Navy vessels in foreign shipyards will resolve severe domestic shipyard backlogs while driving direct foreign investment back into American facilities. In its policy statement, the OMB cited the Finland model, an approach where the U.S. rapidly acquires vessels from allied foreign shipyards and transfers technology and production back home to revitalize its industrial base. Eyes are now on South Korea after U.S. President Donald Trump highlighted Korean shipbuilders for cooperation as his administration seeks overseas-built vessels. With South Korea stepping up efforts to support U.S. naval modernization, Korean shipbuilders are widely viewed as prime candidates for the partnership. However, the proposal faces a tough battle on Capitol Hill. Current federal law strictly mandates that U.S. Navy vessels be built in domestic shipyards to protect national security and preserve American jobs. With lawmakers pushing back against foreign procurement, the showdown between Congress and the White House is expected to become a major flashpoint in defense policy.
Our top story tonight, South Korea's relentless heat wave is turning deadly. The death toll has reached 21, and the unprecedented heat has even halted professional baseball games for the first time. Park Jun-an starts us off.
As of 4 p.m. Wednesday, the Korea Meteorological Administration has expanded its highest level heat wave warning Serious heatwave warning to cover 62.5% of the greater Seoul area. A severe heatwave warning is issued when an area's daily maximum feels-like temperature has reached 35 degrees Celsius or higher for at least 2 consecutive days. After that, the warning is issued if either the daily maximum feels-like temperature reaches 38 degrees Celsius or higher, or the daily maximum temperature reaches 39 degrees Celsius or higher. It's only been a few minutes since I stepped outside, but as you can see, I'm already starting to sweat. If I had to describe this weather in one word, I'd say exhausting. On Tuesday, unofficial temperature readings in Seoul districts including Gangnam-gu and Guro-gu even topped 39 degrees Celsius. According to the Korea Meteorological Administration's report, this past July recorded the highest average minimum temperature on record at 23.4 degrees Celsius. The nation also experienced an average of 9.7 tropical nights, during which temperatures do not fall below 25 degrees Celsius. That easily surpassed the previous record set in 2024. The prolonged heat is taking a growing toll on public health. According to the Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency, the estimated death toll this year has risen to 21. The estimated number of heat-related illnesses has also climbed to 2,441 nationwide. The scorching weather has also disrupted professional sports. To protect the players and spectators, the Korea Baseball Organization announced that for the very first time, it will cancel all first and second team games on Wednesday and Thursday until comprehensive measures are put in place. With dangerously intense heat wave expected to continue, health officials are strongly urging people to stay hydrated, avoid prolonged outdoor activities, and seek immediate medical attention if signs of heat exhaustion appear. Park Junan, Arirang News.
Plus, our green and pleasant land has turned yellow and parched, how it's impacting the environment, food supply and wildlife. Now, we've all seen how our green spaces have lost their shine, turning yellow and dusty. This is Hyde Park. After one of the hottest summers and driest Julys on record, the capital officially in drought and temperatures expected to rise once again next week, there's no respite for our land. And it's not just the look that's changed, it's also impacting the environment, food supply and wildlife, as our correspondent Tom Edwards reports.
The green and pleasant land has gone yellow. These photos show how London's parks are parched. 5 heat waves and a drought have taken their toll. Ponds and streams are drying up. And at hedgehog rescue centres in the southeast, the lack of water is also having an impact.
Climate change is happening so quickly that they don't have the chance to adapt. So we're seeing more and more not hibernating, later litters, and obviously come spring and summer, the hotter weather, which is really affecting populations.
London and the southeast is already one of the driest areas in Europe. Heat waves have compounded that. Behind me is Luton in Bedfordshire, and the heat waves, you can see the impact it's had on this land. It's very, very yellow, and the harvests have already been brought in by the local farmers. And also you'll be able to see there have been wildfires. There were 400 wildfires last weekend alone in the capital. With a warming climate, that will only increase. This was a pond in Hertfordshire a week ago. This was the same pond this morning. It's no surprise farmers across the southeast have been struggling to deal with the lack of water.
We're having to look every day at moving the cows, whether it's a new bit of ground that they haven't been on for maybe a week, but it's made no difference. A week break on this year has made no difference. We are starting to feed hay, which is our winter food, so we are now starting to worry about our winter process. The grass normally is so resilient. Once we cut it for hay or once we cut it for silage, it will come back, but at the moment nothing has come back since we've cut silage and nothing's come back since we've cut hay, and it's just a worry. The carcasses aren't getting big enough, so they're not going to be a size for what we want because they're beef cattle.
The problems really started with the first heat wave, which was back in late May, early June. This is a spring crop of spring barley that we're standing in now. So this was planted in March and has really had very little rain on it since March. The crop flowers in early June, and because at that time the heat puts it under stress, which immediately means that we know the yield is going to be impacted. And then throughout the whole of the grain filling period, there's been no rain at all. So it's inevitable that there's going to be an impact in yield because of that.
With man-made climate change, heat waves and droughts will become more likely. London and the southeast needs to prepare for more of this in the future. and become more resilient and adapt. Tom Edwards, BBC London.
Dale.
Es la lejos promesa americana.